Welcome to the Pock Show. I'm Mantus.
Thank you.
And we are here with our special guest,
Majes Dimereonn.
Majes Dimereonn. He's a famous Hollywood director from Los Angeles, Hollywood.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you.
You're welcome for having you.
Mm.
Hey, how's it going? How's the weather out there?
It's a little rainy.
Excellent.
It's a little pixelated.
Hey, so I hear you got a new movie in the works. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I do. I have a new movie in the works, and it should be fun. It's exciting.
That does sound exciting. Let's roll a clip.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. It's going to be something.
Welcome to the Circle, Serum. I'm the organized resident eccentric. So if you're fond of bizarre yet completely plausible historical theory, I'm your elf. Why do you call yourself eccentric? Well, that's how this lot sees me. I always think it's best to get out in front of the story, you know. I focus on historical mysteries, bizarre and arcane phenomena. You know, the interesting stuff.
Can you give me an example?
Ha! How much time do you have? The disappearance of the Dwemer, the secrets of the Hist, the mysteries of the Zero Stone. Tamarelic history is possibly bursting with unexplained oddities.
And the other members of the Circle see the mysteries as
a complete waste of time and resources. Verita would rather while away the days gluing broken Elysian pottery back together. And Ogron, I never see him show any interest in anything that has been embalmed.
Do you have anything to show for your efforts?
Oh, plenty. Like, I've got Cyrodiilic bird person's skull buried around here somewhere.
What brings you to Skyrim?
Ergon, mostly. He hates getting stuck between Verita and Reginus without backup. Skyrim boasts its fair share of mysteries, too. I've been developing a theory about the snow elves that's sure to wow our colleagues abroad.
Oh?
Oh, yes. I don't want to get into the specific just yet, but it involves dragons, dwarves, Magnus the Divine, and a band of plucky Antamora Scalds. And also six-legged mammoth. I don't want that last bit to sound odd, but trust me, it's essential.
I guess I'll take your word for it. Goodbye.
Hey, we're back from the clip. I hope everyone enjoyed the clip.
Yeah.
Explain it.
Yes.
No, wait. What am I explaining?
It was difficult to shoot. We showed part of it in two locations. One location was in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and then in a suburb, and then the other location was in Western Skyrim.
Oh, okay. I love Scranton this time of year.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Jack Edwards was accused of setting a fire that killed a man at a Scranton boarding house.
Skyrim might be safer.
So, yeah, well, yeah. I mean, the crime is way down compared to Scranton. I mean, just per capita.
It's been more than a month since Scranton police went after prostitutes downtown. A crackdown involving more than a dozen police officers landed 6 women in jail.
How and when the remains were placed in a trash dumpster and who placed them there. Fire and police units rushed to the scene and found what appears to be a Molotov cocktail about a foot from the building.
Hey, what were your influences?
My influences run wide. I like would say maybe my favorite movies are Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
So Rennie Harlan is a big influence on me, and I don't know, Joel Schumacher. Particularly the Batman stuff. I think he's.
I feel like I can see it in your work.
Yeah, he's something else. Anything that Joe Rogan does.
There's an interesting Bay Area angle to the Joe Rogan COVID case and the horse medication he used.
I'm a big Fear Factor fan.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure what he's doing now.
But he's still good at making people shriek.
You can never be woke enough. That's the problem.
The hugely popular podcast host causing days of chatter by saying that straight white men are the targets of woke culture.
It will eventually get to straight white men are not allowed to talk.
I haven't seen any. I haven't seen him since. I mean, I guess he stopped working. But Fear Factor.
I think he's retired. Yeah.
Yeah. Fear Factor was good though. That's good.
That was
he's
Keith
funny.
Rogan.
He's funny.
I don't think he's ever done anything better than Fear Factor ever again in his entire life.
Attention all spaceship crew members. Our radar screen has picked up the target we've been looking for. Prepare the ship for an immediate attack.
Something's wrong. Someone's jamming the radio. We are losing all our air. Gamera, help us get out.
Gamera has been located. Attack Gamera at once.
Tell us a little bit about, the budget on this film. Was it something that was high or low?
Well, to honestly, so Disney optioned the story when I wrote it. It was they optioned it for 6 figures. I don't want to go into detail about exactly how much. High 6 figures, and then that was the option. But then when they exercised the option, we went into low 7 figures for the screenplay, and then for the actual budget, we came in just under $384 million.
No, okay.
And I think it shows. I think it shows in the work. I think it shows in the impact. It was important to have the effects budget. It all goes into effects.
Oh yeah. Well, you can really see it. I mean, it's like you're really there. I felt like.
Well,
I saw it in IMAX.
We shot on location, so we were really there.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I could see that everyone felt like they were there, which made me feel like I was near them.
Right.
Let's watch another clip.
It was near dusk on November 5th, 1975. A truckload of forestry workers were making their way home when they saw something strange to one side of the road. They stopped, and one of them, Travis Walton, got out to take a closer look. As he got nearer, something happened that made his companions panic.
It was hovering up here, just below the tops of the trees, and it was about 20-25 feet in diameter.
What he saw was a bright object hovering in midair.
When I got up about here, I crouched down behind a log, and I could hear a sound coming from it. It was kind of a very strange mechanical sound. And I was kind of wrestling with the idea of being so close to this. I'd expected it to take off, you know, and in running up here, I figured this was my last chance to, you know, to see this thing up close. But I decided I'd better get the hell out of there. And as I raised up and turned to go, I felt this numbing shock and blacked out. The guys in the truck said they saw this brilliant beam come out of the bottom of the craft and hit me in the head and the chest and knocked me flying through the air.
When his companions returned to the scene, they found no sign of Travis. He maintains that he blacked out and came to inside a strange room.
I didn't regain consciousness very quickly. I was very groggy and in a lot of pain. But when I could finally focus my eyes, I saw these creatures standing over me, which just flipped me out immediately. I was pretty hysterical. I was screaming all kinds of things at them, and they started towards me. And I grabbed a thing off of the table there and lashed out at them, and they stopped. They just kind of put their hands out like that at me, and then they just turned around and left the room. And I was afraid they'd come back, so I was going to try to find a way out of there. I guess I kind of assumed I was still, you know, or that the craft was still here in the woods. But I went looking for a way out. I went into another room, and as I was looking for a way out, another being came in, and this was a very human-appearing person. He led me out of this craft, which appeared to be parked inside of a larger building or a larger craft. He just took me right out of there, down a hallway to a room where there were some other people who looked like him. They put this mask over my face. It was kind of like an oxygen mask thing. There was no hose connected to it. They put it over my face, and that was the last thing I knew. I just blacked out.
Travis Walton says that the incident ended 4 days later when he found himself lying at the side of a road not far away.
This particular part of the brain is one of the most electrically unstable regions throughout the entire area. If one stimulates this region right here, which is the hippocampal region, and including the amygdaloid area, one can get all types of experiences, such as the release of dream-like experiences into the waking state, a modification of memory, even partial amnesia, and a confabulation, that is, the filling in of that amnesia or that blank space with fantasy. And that fantasy is a function of what the person believes or has been taught or has experienced. One of the most interesting aspects of stimulating this part of the brain is the meaningfulness of it. There's a cosmic experience type of effect by stimulating this part of the brain. In fact, it is very similar to a type of religious experience.
Dr. Persinger feels that what happened at Fatima in Portugal in the early years of this century can be explained in this way.
Several thousands of people saw a luminous display. They thought it was the sun because they had no other word for it. They called it the sun, but it was below the clouds. Right? Estimated 30,000 people saw that event. Those that were closest to it had the richest imagery and experience. Those that were far away only saw a ball of light. Those that were very close and of one religious persuasion saw Joseph or whatever. Those that were of another religious persuasion thought they saw Christ. The camera only saw a ball of light.
Persinger believes that a similar luminous display had an effect on Travis Walton.
The Travis Walton case supports the model extraordinarily well. He is basically a almost 6-foot conductor, semiconductor that walked very close to the tremendous luminous display, tremendous potential there. The discharge occurred between him and the part of his body that was closest to the ball, which was his head and his chest. The ensuing events seemed to indicate a case of partial amnesia and of consequent confabulation. In other words, the amnesia of those 3 or 4 days were filled in with fantasy. But the point is, since the part of the brain that is involved with memory and experience was modified by this severe shock, he would not necessarily be lying. He may actually believe that that's what happened to him.
Others wanted to be sure. The National Enquirer has long had an interest in UFOs and in selling newspapers. They asked Walton to take a lie detector test and called in the services of Jack McCarthy.
I received a call at my home asking me to come to the Sheraton Hotel in Scottsdale and not to tell anybody where I was going, period. Well, naturally, I told my wife.
A lie detector is used to reveal whether a person is telling the truth by measuring pulse rate, respiration, and blood pressure. Some experts, however, doubt its reliability. But after 2 hours of questioning and recording the reactions, McCarthy thought he had the answer.
When I completed my examinations, after reading my charts, I rendered the opinion to the reporters from the National Enquirer that the charts were deceptive, and that, in my opinion, he was attempting to perpetrate a UFO hoax. Well, the lid blew off the room. I thought his brother Dwayne was going to throw me off the balcony. He was raging like a bull, saying there's no way that his brother would lie. And his charts were very, very clear, obviously deceptive.
And we're back from the clip.
Yeah.
Now that we're going to segue from a video about UFOs to just talking about UFOs.
The thing that I think that's important to keep in mind is that we don't have a country when aliens just come and just disrespect our borders, you know, they pay no taxes. They, you know, probe people. So from what I hear, they're dangerous. They send their criminals. They send their rapists. I mean, some of them, I guess, are good.
I mean, you know, you can't really tell by looking at them. I just assume that they're all jerks.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and it bothers. I think I think that we should do something about it because we don't have room for them here.
Well, why don't we just turn the Rio Grande into a big moat? Can we put like we can put alligators in there. I mean, we Americans have alligators.
Well,
right?
Okay, but I'm not sure how that would help with the alien problem. I mean, the alien problem is we need lasers to shoot them out of the sky.
Oh my God. Jewish space lasers.
I mean, I don't know of too many aliens coming in from Mexico because aliens have a much higher, so they're after. I think a lot of them come in from Andromeda.
Well, what if we put like a giant dome around everything?
Well, they do that in Israel.
Look, the Earth is flat, right? All we have to do is just put like a dome around it.
There's a lot of misconception out there about. I mean, there's just a lot. The truth is out there on YouTube, but you have to really look for it.
What if we reinforce it with like plexiglass or Pyrex?
Opal.
Yeah. Something.
Steel.
Carbon fibers.
Diamonds.
Yeah.
The incredibly clear contours of the huge craft can be seen. The cameraman and reporter reckoned it was at least 100 feet long. There is clearly a dome on top of the saucer's shape, and through the camera lens, streams of lights could be seen whirling round the object.
Hey, while I've got you, completely off the cuff.
Yeah.
I'm recruiting the next round of disciples for the Church of the Divine Pox. Are you in?
I'm sorry, you'll have to say that at half speed.
Hey, while I've got you, I'm recruiting the next round of disciples for the Church of the Divine Pox. How you feel about that? You think you'd be into that?
You want me to be a member of the Divine? I belong to so many clubs, so I have no problem belonging to another. I'm a joiner.
Look, we are. Let me get some. I'll get the paperwork out to you right now. Here, let me put it on the side screen on the chat.
I mean, I've sold my soul more times than fucking Voldemort. I have like 18 Horcruxes. So whatever, whichever. I'm willing to give you another piece over to some other group as long as you guys get me work. I'm good.
Huh? Oh, my producer says that you could be in the AV department. I didn't even know
I could be in the AV department.
You could be the AV department.
I would very much like that.
That's amazing. I'm just glad I didn't want to feel like I was stretching you too thin with adding another club, but I'm feeling good about this one.
Yeah, I'm perfectly happy. I mean, what are the hours?
I would say 24.
Pass the gravy, will you, Angie? How was school today, honey?
Oh, fine. Miss Buster's going to take us on a field trip.
Here, Donnie, let's have a few carrots, honey. They're good for you. Make a strong one. Popeye.
Popeye don't eat any carrots. He eats spinach.
Well, we don't have any spinach, so eat your carrots.
I don't like carrots.
Don't force them on him, Estelle, if he doesn't like them.
She says it's easier for us to learn algebra.
I'm not forcing them on him, but he's got to eat something.
Pass the ketchup, will you?
I don't like carrots and spinach.
You're going to eat those carrots if I have to stand over you with a club. Say something to him.
Huh? Leave him alone. Besides, these things do have kind of a funny taste.
I don't like them too much either.
Now look, young lady, don't you start on me.
Leave him alone, Estelle. You're always on.
Always what? You're always in the newspaper. Why don't you...
I'm trying to read a couple of ball scores.
And I'm trying to get 2 kids to eat a meal it took me an hour and a half to fix.
If you'd fix normal food instead of some nutty recipe.
Nutty recipe? There's nothing wrong with this recipe. I got it out of the Modern Home. Shut up and eat your carrots.
Leave him alone, Estelle. I'm warning you.
Don't you threaten me, Arnold.
Oh, why can't we just once have a normal meal without all of these arguments? It's the same thing.
Come on.
I'm tired. I don't want any
Well, we need all the extra help now that like Pox is gone.
Right.
You know, because right now it's just me running pretty much everything, and I do have an intern, and she's pretty evil and very broken. So
the thing is I'm really good about committing, except for my time.
Ah, okay. No, I get it. I get it.
I'll commit to absolutely anything other than, doing things.
Well, if you could just give me a list, I'm going to send you over a pamphlet.
Oh,
and a questionnaire. List of all your traumas. That would be great. All the things that make you vulnerable to suggestion. We're going to go to a clip. For example, here's a clip of what happened to my new assistant when she was very young.
Good night, girls.
Good night, Mom. See you in the morning.
I love you.
I love you too. I love you too. What was that noise? I heard something.
One for each.
Childhood trauma. That's the kind of thing that we want.
I had no childhood.
Service Autoglass, may I help you?
The windshield in my dad's car just got broken.
Oh, okay. Well, we can have it for you in just about 30 minutes.
But Dad can't bring it in.
That's all right. We have free pickup and delivery service.
My dad will be home in an hour, and I have to have it done by then.
Oh, you mean your dad isn't home right now?
Precocious people prefer Service Auto Glass.
What?
Glass.
Every year throughout the United States, hundreds of children, both boys and girls, have become victims of child molesters, which I shall refer to as strangers.
And we're back. We're back from the clip.
Hey, whatever happened to osculococcinum?
Oh.
They used to take it for colds.
Yeah. Well, we have a vaccine now.
Yeah.
Not that I would ever take it.
I miss the I just haven't seen osculococcinum in a long time, and I always wondered, maybe it was because the name was hard to pronounce, is why it didn't take off. It did take off though for a while.
Maybe. I feel like the name being so long was what helped it take off.
Osculococcinum. Is that even correct?
Osculococcinum? Is that what it is?
You got, your guess is as good as mine. I thought osculococcinum.
Oxcoxgabosh.
Osculococcinum. I think if they named COVID osculococcinum, people would have taken it more seriously.
Yeah. Because that's very sciencey. You know, you gotta have a sciencey name.
Yeah, and just you know, the fact
COVID might as well be. It might as well have been Kofefe.
I'm Rex Allen. Country folks been singing sad songs about the weather since time began, and it still causes problems unless we plan ahead. Now, if you're counting on a milo crop this year, you can outsmart the weather with the Heston Headhunter, the row harvester attachment for your combine. If your crop goes down from the wind or the weather, the Heston Headhunter will get it up again. You can save up to 90% of a crop you thought was lost forever. If your crop doesn't go down, you'll still pay yourself a bonus with every acre. University of Nebraska tests show headhunters get an extra 5 bushels per acre because they save all the rogue stalks and eliminate real shatter. You win either way. Whether or no, you can count on your milo crop with Heston Headhunter row harvesters. Then you can let me sing all the old sad songs about the weather.
So, how would a guy like me, a regular Satan worshiper, and you know, a host of an apocalyptic devil may care but care about the devil type of show, how would somebody like that get his own movie made?
I mean, I you know, being of the Hollywood elite, sacrificed many children and drank their blood for the cause, which, you know, we've been discovered by a pig farmer in the Philippines as being that he revealed the cabal. We're all upset about that.
Wow.
You know, because now people are talking about it.
Man,
trying to, you know, I don't know.
That's
silly.
Really, you know, I feel like that was really rude.
Yeah, he doxed us. You know,
it was super rude.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just and then also just the letter Q will never mean, you know, have the same impact for me what it used to mean. He just stole it, and you know, I just feel like our privacy. You know, I mean, like, so I'm a Satan worshiping, you know, child cannibal. I mean,
right? But what about HIPAA? Isn't that?
Yeah, and also just freedom.
You can't ask about people's, you know, baby eating.
I mean, exactly, and also just your freedoms, right? I mean, it's a free country. I thought,
it's a free country.
Last I checked, don't tread on me. I can do what I want. I mean, it's, you know, I procure the babies from horrible, you know, shithole countries, so I don't know why anyone's complaining.
Well, I would hope that they are ethically sourced at the very least.
Of course.
Look, I really feel like we're connecting here. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Huzzah.
That was the Pox Show. Oh, my hand's like a weird glowy thing.
That we're to be here. I'm happy to be here with you all. I love and I'm loved and I love it all.
Amazing. Wise world from Majes Streptococcus.
From your lips to my ass. I love it all.